So I'm keeping my eucalyptus plug plants in the shade until I can get them in the ground, just in trays with some nice moist compost. I'm planting the Eucalyptus gunnii at the moment, so they're only small little seedlings, but this is the key apparently with planting eucalyptus, is to not plant them too big. They get pot bound and root bound really easily, so the best way to get them established is to plant little seedlings like this. So I have put in 80 of the gunnii. I've got this 10 I'm just going to go and do now, last 10 there, and then I've got 2 trays of 50 of the Eucalyptus coxifera, 2 different types. So yeah, gonna crack on, get these in. I just need to find enough guards. I'm making guards out of any of the old plastic garden rolls that you get, like the protection netting. I've got various different bits and bobs laying around and holding old bits of rabbit netting, stuff like that. So I'm just using anything I can, try and save a bit of money and not have to buy guards, because the sort of tubex guards, things like that, they're quite expensive. With 200 trees, you're probably looking at another £200 or more to buy the guards. So I'm just trying to make them up out of anything I've got, and I should just about have enough. I'm hoping to get these in because the weather's been quite warm. I'm hoping to get these in by Monday. I've got three days work for Monday, so I want to have them all in by then, because I won't get time to do them on the Tuesday, Wednesday or Thursday. So yeah, I'm spending Easter planting my eucalyptus plantation, but I don't mind, I quite enjoy doing it. So I'm going to crack on. So this is how I'm planting them. I've got my tree planting spade, nice narrow blade. So I break up a nice sort of 6-inch round hole, break it all up. I don't necessarily have to dig out, just really loosen it. I'm just putting the plug in because it's only, they're little tiny plugs, probably about sort of half the size of a toilet bowl inner. And then the pegs, I'm using these 3mm high tensile steel that I've cut and about 1 foot long and bent them just to save money on canes, and just pushing them down. The stones in this part of the field are only about sort of 4 to 6 inches below the ground they start. It's not pure shale, but it's just very stony ground, and they're hitting the stones there. So I'm hoping that's enough to hold the guards, especially once they've got the chip on them. So I'll show you just what I'm chipping at the moment. This is just the first chip, just to keep the grass down, because I decided not to spray the field because I've got a lot of wildflowers and things in here, and I just didn't want to kill everything off. So I'm wood chipping inside the guard. I'm only putting sort of 1/2 inch to 1 inch because I don't want it too close around the little stem of the plant. But on the outside I've just put a bucket full of wood chip to begin with. On Saturday, so it's Sunday today, next Saturday I've got a friend coming with a wood chipper, and I've got tons and tons of stuff to chip. So I'm going to end up with piles of it everywhere. So I'm going to spend a couple of days barrowing. I'll probably put a whole wheelbarrow of chip around each tree, really give them a good sort of metre round of 2 to 4 inch deep chip to hold the moisture in, keep the grass and the weeds down, and that'll give them a really good boost. So what you can see here is the gunnera. This is Eucalyptus gunnii, sorry. This is 100 of them up to here, and then this whole top part of the paddock up to, I don't know if you can just see it as a little bench up there I've got. That will be the 100 Eucalyptus coxifera going in there. The soil down this bottom end is a little deeper, a little more moisture retentive than what it is going up the hill here. It gets a little bit more stony, and the coxifera is something that can take a bit more of an exposed site. Apparently it gets a bit more wind up the top there as well. So hopefully they're going to enjoy this ground and they're going to grow away really well, and I'll keep you updated on the progress. But I will show you when I've finished planting. I'll show you, have a little walk round. Right, so all the eucalyptus plantation is now in. I haven't wood chipped them all yet. They've all been watered. So this is coming in from the top end off the track here. I'm just leaving enough room to get in with my van if I need to. Just planted a couple either side, there and there. This one just here, this one is an apple tree, so I've left a bit of room around that. This is another track that goes off into the woods, so I'll just put one either side of that. And this is looking down towards the bees, which are down the bottom there. This is just looking down the hill. So that's 200 trees in. I've left a bit of room, like I say, around this apple tree, and enough room here just for another pitch for my tent. I've got a 5-metre canvas bough tent that I put up in various different places, so I just thought I'd leave some room up here to have it up here if I wanted to. I ended up running out of guards completely, so I had to cut some tubex guards in half and just do some lower ones. They should be okay, just to keep the rabbits off. Obviously muntjac may be a problem with all these guards because they'll be able to reach them, but apparently deer don't particularly like eucalyptus very much. Some of these here are wire guards. You can see, just cut bits of wire and peg them down. Like I say, all these top, I need to chip probably over 100 of them still, or about 100, which I'll do over the next few days. I just wanted to get them in. So this is my little path that goes down through, just a bit of a windy path. I will put a couple of little sitting areas on this path. It's just nice to sit and have a look at your trees sometimes, sit there with a flask of coffee and just have a look at stuff while it's growing. So this path just comes down. Sorry if it's a bit wobbly. Comes down to another little path. That path goes back up towards the veg patch area, and this way comes down towards the bees. So I've gone not all the way to the bottom here. I've got a bout of trees along here, silver birch, some sycamore and hazel and stuff in there. I've left from where these trees finish here about 30 foot, because in another video I haven't put up yet, I'll show some of the trees that I grow, and I sell a few online. I sell some Paulownia trees, Paulownia tomentosa, and I want to put a few of those out here just to see how well they grow. And the soil down there is a bit deeper, a bit moister, so I think they'll do well there. So I've left a bit of room to put perhaps 50 of those in. The tubex guards that you can see just behind these plastic ones here, the tubex ones, they're lime trees. I popped a few of those in, but this is where the gunny eye starts here. This is where my bees are, and then looking back up the hill, which is now fully planted. So I've planted them roughly 2 to 3 meters apart. Some are a little bit closer. The patch does taper up, it tapers up into a bit more of a point up the top there. So, you know, some as I went up were a little bit closer than others, but around the 3 meter mark. These down the bottom here are a bit wider, and a few of them get a little bit closer up the top there. I just had to squeeze them in. So I'm going to see how well they do this year, and I'll keep you updated. I'll do perhaps a midsummer video just to show how they've done. If they do really well and they like this area, then I may well replace these trees up this patch here. And most of those are ash. There's a couple of sycamores in there, but most of them are ash, and those trees have been in about 12 years and they're quite small. They're only 3 to 4 inches at the bottom. They just really haven't done very well. So if these eucalypts like this drier bank, then I'll get another probably 100, 150 in there next year. Now I'm not going to give these trees any fertiliser this year at all. The first year, really, I just want them to get their roots in. So I'm going to mulch around, like I say, with the wood chip. I'll do a much bigger circle, as I've said before, nice big circle of mulch, and that will keep the moisture in. It's important the first year, really, with small trees, just to let them get their roots in, let them get established. So if you feed them with nitrogen fertilizer, they're just going to put on a lot of leafy growth, and in a dry spell the roots may not be able to keep up with the demands of that leafy growth. So like I say, no feed the first year, just a good bit of mulch, which shouldn't give them any nutrients as such. It would just keep the moisture in, keep them alive hopefully, but it's not too much of an issue to water them. I've been watering them by hand as I plant them. I've got two big 14-litre watering cans, and if I had to do them once a week and give them half a litre each just to keep them alive for a hot spell, 2 cans of water at a time, I can do 50 trees. So it's only sort of 4 trips. It's not too bad. Just takes an hour or so. But that's the plantation in. Firewood plantation all done. And I'll do another video, like I say, to show you how they've taken. Take it easy, guys.